The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add this nice scroll view, which of course is the main point of this whole app if you think about it, right? The actual forecast. Now to get this to work, of course, there's a few things we need to do. The first thing is, how do we get this data prepared so we can then iterate through and start creating each one of these items that we see here, each one of these forecasts. So as we've been doing everything through our forecast model, so if I just go command and jump to definition, the forecast model takes care of getting the data and get it ready to be displayed in the user interface. So the same thing we need to do here for us to be able to get this whole information in our list and then hopefully pass it all in and we can loop through. Let's go back to our current view, or content view, I should say, and just say content forecast view and just invoke the forecast view model and then get the actual data or the actual array. That doesn't work like that because this list here contains, like I said before, objects. And the way things are set up in our project and the way the observable wrapper works, whenever we have objects inside of an array, it makes it a little bit difficult for us to invoke that directly. This means then we have to again go through our forecast model here as we've been doing. And what we're going to do, we're going to create a function that will get the information, meaning the list with all of these items, and we're going to return that list like we've been doing with all these closures here. This is what I mean. So I'm going to go to right below our init here, and I'm going to say func, call this get forecast list as such. And what I need to do here, it's going to return something. Well, what I want to return actually is an array that will have certain types. What are the types that we want? Well, the types that we want is the type that contains the DT for time, sunrise, sunset, and temp, and so forth. Let's go to our data models here. What we want is this type here, this main forecast params, which has all those fields that we talked about. Okay. So it's an array, of course. That's what we're expecting, a list. That means that's why we're going to pass in square brackets like that. I'm going to say main forecast params. And then I'm going to say if let mlist going to be equal to self.weather forecast.list as such, right? Make sure that everything is good. We have something there. I'm going to say return that list. So mlist, because it's going to have all the information we want, right? Else, we're just going to return an empty array. That's all. In fact, if I come down here and I say print and I say list, just print our mlist like this, we should be able to invoke or get something. So let's go ahead back to our content view here just to show you something real quick here. I'm going to just put a text that would say, just a label. This we're going to say 7-day weather forecast. A few modifiers here. I want this to be bold, and padding, I'm going to give it all padding of about 20. Very good. And right here, I'm going to put a scroll view, and I want this to be horizontal, and shows indicators. I want this to be false because I don't want those indicators to be shown. And I'm going to put in a horizontal stack that will contain all of our items. So now I'm going to say for each, right? Now remember, for each in SwiftUI expects to return a view of some sort. So I'm going to have to pass a few things here. What is it that we're going to be passing? Well, we're going to be passing that get forecast list because it has all of these objects inside of a list here, which